up? It's your girl Memory. That's Memory with 2 E's, not a Y. I'm coming from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I want to share my birth story with you guys because I gave birth during the whole pandemic. So I'm going to talk about what we plan to happen during birth, what actually happened during labor, and then I'll get into a little bit about that 4th trimester postpartum. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it today. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, so our son, Legend, was due on February the 3rd. So we had planned to do as much of the labor stages that we could at home, just so that I could be comfortable. We wanted to try to do a natural birth, but the out-of-pocket costs for a water birth at home, I think, were like $2,000 to $2,500. So I decided to use my insurance and go through the hospital. The good thing about my hospital, they have an option where you can choose midwives or you can choose a team of doctors. So with the midwives, they spend more time with you. It's a little bit more personal. And I was able to meet each one of the midwives during the course of my pregnancy. So I love that as well because I knew exactly who was going to deliver my baby. I feel like with the team of doctors, you don't know who you're gonna get. So it's like, I just didn't want to take that risk, all right? So I would like to talk about the difference between a doula and a midwife. I had both. A doula is there to support the birthing person, emotionally, physically. She helps you during labor. She helps you before labor, like all through pregnancy, and also as well in that 4th trimester, which is really important, postpartum, after you have the baby. So most doulas are full spectrum. Mine was. And she just basically educated me on giving birth. Like all the things that the hospital would recommend, she kind of helped me guide my way through those decisions. So I would say getting a doula is pretty important because you'll have that advocate on your team along with your mate or whoever you're going to have around you while you're giving birth. So I decided to do the induction on Thursday the 11th. We get everything ready to get to the hospital. We are under the pretense that my boyfriend can leave whenever he wants just because, normally you can get to the hospital and leave. We get to the hospital, take the COVID test, and it comes back positive. I'm not sure how I got COVID. Stayed in the house for most of my pregnancy, but somehow it's COVID positive, so that changed the entire dynamic of giving birth. We were moved to a separate room with this loud ventilator. My boyfriend couldn't leave at all. If he left, he wouldn't be able to come back. So like I said, it just changed the entire dynamic of giving birth. So we begin the induction process using the mechanical balloon, and basically it inflates and expands your cervix and gets you ready to give birth. So we did that around 10 Thursday night, and I said I started feeling contractions around maybe like 12, 1 o'clock. My friend rests or whatever because I know it's a little process, so I'm trying to let him get his little rest in, and I'm trying to thug it out myself. I was handling it pretty well until about 6 in the morning. That's when I was like, baby, you gotta wake up. So I'm on the ball, I'm like walking around, we're doing stretches, trying to do everything that my doula recommended we do, and just trying to get the baby out or whatever. And the midwife comes in and she starts working with me as well. And I will say it was really awesome to have a Black midwife, and she also was a lady. So it was just awesome to have that experience with someone that was patient and willing to work with me. So by 4 o'clock, I'm like, sis, run me that epidural, because by this time it was like either I take the epidural or I keep, going through the pain. I was like, I did as much as I could naturally. At this point, I need a break. I need to take a nap. I'm ready. Give me an epidural. And I took it right on time because if I had waited any longer, it would have been too late. I could barely sit still for him to give me the shot. So he gives me the shot, and I'm like knocked out. I was knocked out for probably about 2 hours to 3 hours. And when I woke up, we decided, to get it popping, and we was going to do the Pitocin. So Pitocin is basically a chemical that they use that mimics oxytocin, which is a naturally occurring hormone in your body that helps the woman prepare for birth. It helps her deal with the pain of giving birth as well. So if I took that, and by probably like 30, 45 minutes later, it was time to push. I was ready. They said it would feel like I had to use the bathroom, do the number 2, which it did. So I called the midwife in. It was like, it's time, let's go. So she checked, and I was right. It was time to go. We started pushing at 11, and he came at 11:18. My bundle of joy was finally there. So like the pushing experience, even with the epidural, I could still feel the wave of contractions. And basically what happens is the contractions help you push him out. So whenever you get those waves of contractions, that's where I had to push the hardest. And that's something that I didn't know. I had watched videos, but I still didn't know that. And like I said, I could still feel the pain of pushing him out and stuff. It just was a lot less. It wasn't as much as it was before. So yeah, I saw my little bundle of joy and everything was worth it. Looking back, things that I would do differently, I would recommend if you can have it at home and do those costs up front, I would do that because I use insurance and I still ended up owing like about $2,500 out of pocket. So looking back, I would have did it at home. Just because it just makes more sense. And I feel like without all those stressors of the hospital, from the COVID test to us moving to my boyfriend not being able to leave, everything just made it a little bit uncomfortable. And Legend just was like, I could tell Mama is uncomfortable. I'm not trying to come. He was like, no. So I think if I would have been a little bit more comfortable and at home in my own space, he would have came on his own time. So like I said, if you can do a natural birth, if it's safe, I would recommend it. Next time, that's the route I want to go. I'm going to go full natural water birth at home. And I will say that my treatment at the hospital was awesome. My midwives, my nurses, they took great care of me. So that was a good part. All right, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed my video. I want you guys to stay tuned because the next video we'll be talking about that 4th trimester, which is postpartum. I'll be talking about postpartum depression, breastfeeding, a whole bunch of good stuff. So y'all, please stay tuned and tune into my next video. Once again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you like it, click the like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And I will see you on the next one. Bye.
She walked the fire.